it on my sandwich menu. One moment.
This is crazy. This is unprecedented. Unprecedented.
Which precedented?
Not precedent. There's no precedent.
Right.
There's no precedent?
But like, we got a speaker of the house. We
Anarchy.
don't have a president. How do they
Who's the
get-
president?
Precedent with a C.
Le presidente.
like, British?
Ah,
Yes.
the
exactly.
presidente.
Have we started?
I believe we've started.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. Welcome in.
That's
Welcome.
right.
Wait, no.
You made
Wait.
it to.
Okay,
what,
good.
We're waiting. We're waiting for Rope.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, welcome
Wait.
everybody. Welcome in. You made it to another episode of the Meat Factory podcast. This is stream test number 104. Jeez. And this evening we are joined by Arman the Parman. Arman, say hi.
Hello.
You look beautiful.
How you going?
Could you
Rem-
give?
Reluctantly here.
You are really.
Aw.
You were dragged here.
Not that I don't like anyone.
Shamed. He was shamed here.
Yeah, it's more like it was shamed in. So, Arman, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, could you give the quick elevator speech on who you are and what you do in the Bitcoin space?
I'm just some guy I like Bitcoin and I write about it and I teach a bit about it and I'm always arguing on Twitter and shitposting.
Sounds about right.
That's about it.
All right, so this is your first time on the pod, and there are a few idiosyncrasies here. One of which is that the ad copy is presented to us, and our sponsors require the guest to read it for us. So we've just shot that over to your DMs. If you can pop into Twitter, open up your DMs, you'll see the ad copy that we need to get through today in order for it to get paid. At your discretion, go for it.
Okay. This is a long bit of text.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
So I'm going to read all this out.
Yep, go for it.
Hey there, it's Arman the Parman bringing you a taste of something special straight from the heart of the lush Colombian forest. This isn't your grandma's baking soda. This is Parman Hammer baking soda. Imagine a place where the leaves are greener than the greenest pastures, where the air is as fresh as new Bitcoin block. That's where we begin. Our cocoa leaves are hand-selected, dried under the golden South American sun, and ground with the care of RD placing a watermark. Nice. But much like the process of strip mining the American middle class of its wealth and dignity, the magic is in the extraction. We take these powdered leaves and with a procedure that utilizes virgin Venezuelan petrol in chemical processes, we produce the purest, cleanest, and most face-numbing angel dust on this side of heaven. Parman Hammer baking soda. It's not just a mere baking ingredient, it's the secret to unlocking superior molecular abilities of your neural pathways. Maybe you are suffering from an ornery toothache. Maybe your 9 to 5 has you feeling depleted and empty. Maybe you need some extra stiffness in the bedroom, or you just need to clear that unholy bowel obstruction. This medical miracle could be for you. So next time you're at the store pondering over the supplements aisle, remember the Parman promise. Every box contains not just baking soda, but a fat brick of Colombian booger sugar. Parman Hammer baking soda. It's just cocaine. Very nice.
Hey,
Nice.
Who wrote
Yay.
that?
That was
we
all.
can
right.
get paid now.
That was all. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've done our due diligence here with our sponsors, we can move over to the food section of the evening, where Becca may or may not have prepared a sandwich menu for you to peruse.
Yes, Parmesan
Oh.
cheese. I have my sandwich menu here for you this week. I got
Oh.
3 options for you. So our first one is the pie hole, Sammy.
Mhm.
It's a special sandwich. It's made by Labra the Barkman. It
Yes.
may or may not be contaminated, so you can eat this at your own risk. And there's a fresh hole included. Our next one is a ginger semi sandwich. And it's a ginger flavored beef sandwich handmade by yours truly. And it comes with a shot of freshly squeezed ginger juice. And our last one is Yellow's Don't Stop Believing Steak Sammy. It's been marinated in Red Bull for 724 days. And Yellow's happy this week because he's getting laid. So
Don't say that. Don't give.
Hey.
That's very good. A lot of effort went into that. Nice little picture too. So I have to pick one.
yes, or all.
Oh, look, one of each. I'll start with the pie hole, move on to the yellow steak, and finish off with a bit of ginger juice.
Oh, love it. Good choices.
A little bit of everything.
Yes.
Nicely chosen.
That's how Rob likes it.
I was gonna say that's your diet going, but never
Ah,
mind.
fuck off.
Oh, all right. So, Arman, I really appreciate you making the time to come on tonight. I know you're not big on making podcast appearances, so just want to say thank you before we get started.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's have the difficult questions first. I feel.
Uh-oh.
When did you started supporting the ordinals?
I don't know what an ordinal is really.
But you're like
I-
a wizard.
It was
You're
about
a wizard.
2007. 2007 when I got into Bitcoin and ordinals.
Yeah, but like you're a wizard.
Am I?
No, he's a Parman. It's like a religious wizard.
Parman.
No,
Yeah.
he's
Oh, he's a
clearly a
sorcerer.
wizard.
He's clearly
Yeah,
Oh.
sorcerer.
No, that's
I thought it was
Looks
like
like a-
Gandalf.
I think it's Moses.
Gandalf's a wizard.
It
yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
it looks like Odie's Avi, man. What are you talking about?
no Parman.
It was originally an ugly Moses picture that I just copied from the internet, and then somebody drew it for me.
Oh,
But
that's Moses.
Oh,
I think he just put it into the AI thing. I'm not sure, but he made some pretty things. I just put it on.
Yellow supposes
Because
that
the
Parman.
colors are nice.
Very nice. Is that the hard question? Just talking to him about the ordinals thing because he's a wizard?
Yeah, I thought he was.
Oh, that wizard
Ordinals
Udi.
guy.
Right, I know we're getting it now. Yeah,
What?
guy.
So
Like,
good, Dan.
your eye flickering really is like that's great.
It is, isn't it?
Yellow. I love that. The only person just noticed it.
All right, so Parman, you do an extensive amount of writing, and I don't read that much, so it was a lot to go through. But you've extensively discussed the concept of Bitcoin being more than just an asset. You talk about it being a step on the way to financial sovereignty individually throughout the world. Can you elaborate on what you think financial sovereignty means in the context of Bitcoin and why it's vital for our listeners and watchers to understand?
That's a big question. I don't know how to answer it directly.
Just
But
ramble.
there is humanity is screwed. We're getting fucked by central bankers, the whole planet now and in the future, and they're controlling us by controlling the money. And this is our only way we can fight back. We've got nothing else. And if we get sound money back, then we can resist the tyranny. So that's what it's about. It's not about making money. It's not about playing with charts, getting rich. It's about humanity fighting back against tyranny.
Can you
That's how
elaborate?
it's-
Can you elaborate on how exactly we're getting fucked by these bankers and the tyranny?
Well, as Bitcoiners, we all probably know, but for anyone who's just become a Bitcoiner and not sure, they're just printing money. Not just printing, because money isn't made only by printing, but through fractional reserve lending. Money gets created out of nothing. Banks lend it out to people. It's created out of nothing, and then people have to pay it back with interest, which is outrageous. And then the things we want get more and more expensive because there's more people. Whoever borrows more gets to buy things first, and everything is more expensive. And I had no idea what was going on when I was first entering the workforce. I thought, I'll work a few years and then buy a house and then life will be good. But just couldn't even catch up with the increases in the prices. I didn't know what was going on until I was much older. And now I look back at my whole life and just see how much I've been getting screwed. My family, everyone, the whole world. And so I'm upset. I'm always upset. And this is a way to get back.
I think a lot of us are always upset.
Yes.
Angry.
All right, so moving on from the philosophical to more the practical. Some of our listeners, at least I assume, want to understand how to incorporate Bitcoin into their lives in a more meaningful way. And you've written about that pretty extensively. I know you have a mentorship program as well. Can you talk a little bit about how?
Where's Yellow
I
going?
was just noticing Yellow is going off screen. Can you talk a little bit about the mentorship program and what you tend to emphasize when telling folks to bring Bitcoin into their lives and how to do that?
Well, the mentorship program isn't about bringing Bitcoin into your life. Usually people who want help are already Bitcoiners. But if I was trying to tell people how to bring Bitcoin into their life, at the moment, you should just to get as much as you can. And you don't have to be spending it to try and help the cause. That's not going to do anything. You just need to be able to work hard, save, and put your savings into Bitcoin. And if you have a service, try and offer Bitcoin as a way for payment. That way you get KYC free Bitcoin. And for the mentorship side of the question, these people come to me because they're not that good with computers and they're nervous about self-custody. I've written as much as I can to help people, but people don't read, or they don't pay attention when they're reading, or they're just nervous and they want someone to guide them as they're doing things. So I thought I'd better just make myself available for that. And people just need to be just guided with how to set up a Bitcoin wallet, and they just want someone there watching them, or how to use the computer, how to right click a mouse. These people come and I help them.
So yeah, let me back that up a little bit. Not so much bringing Bitcoin into your life, like what's I guess it's more about self-custody. So you mentioned KYC free Bitcoin, and I wonder why you think that is an important thing to start with when it's so much easier to get the other kind.
You don't have to start with KYC free. I mean, to work towards it is what, you can't do everything all at once. But KYC free is important because one day they might come for us. So they go, oh, we know you've got this much Bitcoin. We need 10% for nation building. It'll probably be 50%. Or they'll go they'll tax capital gains on unrealized capital gains, and then just basically take your Bitcoin by doing it. Every time Bitcoin goes up, you just have to give them the Bitcoin, so you lose it all. So that's another way that they'll confiscate, just like what happened with gold. They'll try and confiscate. So if you have a stash that they don't know you have, then at least you get to keep that. In that scenario, hiding your coins, not like hiding it, mixing it, that's not going to do anything because they know how much you bought. And they go, well, we don't know where it is, but we know you bought it, so hand it over. Otherwise, jail.
Huh. So you're saying there's a difference even between coins that have been mixed and KYC free coin?
Yeah, they're different. The KYC free gives you privacy when you're spending and no one knows it's yours. But when you've got KYC free coins, then there's a balance against your name of how many you bought. And whether you mix it or not is not going to change that. If you buy an ounce of gold and you bury it in your backyard, the government doesn't know where it is. They still know you bought it. Same thing. So mixing your coins is like burying it in the garden. So no one knows where it is, but they know your balance. They say, we want 50%. Bitcoin's gone up by this much. You owe us this much.
No.
that the tyranny is going to get worse, and that's sort of thing I expect to be coming. So you don't have to do that for all your coins, but it's good if you can. But at least have some stash that is KYC free. Best way to get it is turn it a month.
To Armin's point, I was watching CNBC yesterday or the day before maybe, and they were talking about how they're going to they're working towards outlawing unhosted wallets, or effectively, those of us who are self-custodying.
Standard Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah, well, anything that you're self-custodying yourself and not using a third party or somebody else to custody your coins.
That's going to be a big fight.
Yeah,
and
this is in the US. It's crazy.
They're basically saying, Bitcoiners, please leave the country.
No.
That's what it would mean. Like,
It's not crazy though. Like we kind of expected that, right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, what kind of
No, Pedro?
No, I agree. I'm saying, like, I know that we've been talking about how we expect this to happen.
You're saying it's crazy that's happening now.
It is.
It is.
It's crazy. It was faster than what I thought. Like they were talking about it on, it was whatever, Senator Warren. What's her name?
Well, they have to do it now in order, like, because like they have to do it now because they have to close like the loop and close and put the pressure while they're offering their version, the ETF version, which is totally controlled. So
right,
you give the carrot and you whip with the other hand, right?
Right.
Is that when you the one hand's numb and that's what the one you use?
What are you doing with your hands?
First of all, Greg, this is you for the audience. Hey guys, it's Greg. What's up? Yeah. So
all right. Point taken.
It's a feature, not a bug.
I will try to speak louder. I'm sorry.
No.
So, how is a tyrannical government going to take my Bitcoin that I say I don't have, that they can't prove that I have? They can only prove I bought it at one point. I follow the lab method that I still bury the wallet in the backyard. I dig a hole and I bury it. And then I
ate it the other day in my wallet. I lost all my Bitcoin.
Exactly. I mean, I've been following these practices from day one. Why won't they work?
Why? Can you say it again? Why won't they be able to do it?
So if I've purchased Bitcoin and the government has a record of it, and then I take that wallet and I just dig a hole in the backyard and bury it and forget about it.
Yep.
And they ask me where it is, and I don't know. What then?
Yep.
I just go to jail.
Well, you can do that. It's just risky. Maybe it's not risky now, but when they become super tyrannical, it's risky that you could get fined or jailed. You can fight back. I mean, it's
fine.
I'll fight back, and we'll fight back. But it's not that. It's not that the hiding of your coins did anything, because you're still in that position where you got to fight back. Whereas if you didn't have any KYC coins, they're not even asking you.
Gotcha. So it's just a matter of levels of security.
Yeah, I guess so. It's mixing and hiding. It gives you privacy, but it's not gonna really help you get away from being asked where's your Bitcoin, because you're going to be in that situation, and you're going to have to
mixing and hiding gives you the excuse to tell them, oh, I don't know, I lost them. But like exactly. KYC coin, like from the start they don't know, they just don't know.
Yeah, that's the best way. KYC free coins are the best way. And then if you have them, you want to make sure you don't make them touch your other coins. You don't want to merge them with KYC coins, because then you expose the coins you have. Yeah. So you've got to be careful with your UTXOs.
What would you say to those people that argue that it's the same thing, because like even if you have non KYC coins, you are exposed at the end of the transaction to wherever you spend them.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
true.
see you somehow.
Only to the person you're spending it to. And they're not seeing your entire wallet. They're just seeing that particular coin. So if you've got this giant UTXO of 10 Bitcoin and you pay someone with it, it's KYC free. Well, they see that you have 10 Bitcoin. That's not a good thing to do. But if you have a mixture of UTXOs, you got a 0.1, a 0.01, 0.5, got all different size coins, all private, then you pick the one that's the most appropriate for what you're spending. And if you charge me 0.1 Bitcoin and I take a 0.11 Bitcoin and I pay you 0.1, give myself 0.01 change, well, then you see I've got 0.11 Bitcoin. It's not a big deal because I'm paying you with it. But you don't see the rest of my wallet. But if I was to take 10 Bitcoin and pay you 0.1 from that and give myself 9.9 change, then you see that I've got 10 Bitcoin. That's not a smart thing to do.
Oh, that and there are wallets that by default will spend in a way where it'll do the change and make it look like there's a coin join happening. So
pay joins.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But when you're spending, most of the time you probably should be spending with Lightning anyway.
Hold on. Can we back up? I've never heard of a pay join. Can one or both of you explain that to me?
Here's Arman.
It's like groin join, but pain join.
Thanks, Lev.
No problem.
I forgot now because I wrote about this. But instead of the inputs being exactly the same output, I think they use two different coins and make it look like a coin join, but it's just from the same person. I think I forgot now.
Well, a pay join would be.
I haven't looked at it for over a year. It's not that.
A pay join would be two parties versus what I was describing would be something like where like when you spend the coin, you're gonna do you're gonna spend it in a way where you're paying the exact amount to whoever is receiving, and that same exact amount you're also doing a spend towards yourself, so that it looks like a coin join.
Yeah, something like that. There's some I think you're right.
It's called a samurai uses that. They call it a stone wall.
Wait, that doesn't make sense, man. Like you're spending like 0.01.
Yeah,
and then
so
you're
like
spending 0.01 to yourself.
Then exactly. So like say you have the UTXO is 0.02, so 2 million sats, and you're spending you're sending 1 million sats to somebody, and you're gonna send 1 million sats to yourself.
Exactly, yeah. So
it looks like a coin join.
Now it makes sense. Like you need another party that is like doing the same. Basically, you coin join at the spot when you pay. Basically, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super interesting. What wallets are offering that?
I know of Samurai Wallet. I don't know of any other wallets that do that.
I think BTC Pay server. You can do that.
All right, so we've covered we've covered non KYC Bitcoin, and we've covered a little bit of coin mixing. And I know security remains a paramount concern for most Bitcoiners. What steps from start to finish would you imagine are best steps for someone to acquire and then store their Bitcoin in the most secure fashion?
You asking me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, most secure fashion. Obviously, you've got to get the coins off the exchange. But I wouldn't always recommend a new Bitcoiner to do everything perfectly at once. It's almost impossible. Got to start somewhere. So some simple things is to use a hardware wallet and get coins off the exchange. A lot of people are going to go
a ledger with Ledger Live, right?
Well, that's the worst option. But at least go Trezor or something, or Bitbox O2. Then if you're a bit more technical, have a bit more technical ability, and you can tinker and actually read instructions, maybe the cold card would be better. The reason I like that one is because you don't have to use the hardware wallet's proprietary software to connect to it and set up your wallet, where they potentially can be extracting your public key and you won't know. And then those particular packages do allow you to set up your own node instead of a random node or their node, but it's not that easy for most people. Ideally, you use Electrum or Sparrow. I like Electrum personally myself, but most people are going to be comfortable with Sparrow. It's a bit easier. And you set up your own node and connect your wallet to your own node, and nobody knows when you query the blockchain, you're querying your own copy, so no one sees the addresses you're checking and your IP address, and you sort of become more private. So there's a lot of things, a lot of steps there. The other thing, if you're getting even more fancy, is to make your own seed. That's pretty fun. Instead of trusting the hardware wallet to make your seed, because you are trusting it. You go 12 words, you write it down, and then you're expecting that it's a genuine seed they're giving you, but you don't know how it works. You're not reading the code. And even if you do read the code, how do you know the machine is running the code you just read? Even if you put the software into I don't want to scare people, but even if you put the firmware in yourself, how do you know the machine doesn't have a parallel firmware that you don't know about and it's doing whatever it wants?
I mean, you're saying you don't want to scare people, but you're kind of doing the other thing.
I don't think you're scaring anybody, Arman, but it's true that something like a cold card will allow you to generate a seed, and you can also use the dice roll feature to generate the seed, and you can compare it to a different software wallet or hardware wallet to see if what the seed is that they're generating using your dice roll is actually true, right? You can compare that.
Yeah, so if you just use the cold card and the dice roll feature, it doesn't actually help. It gives you the feeling that you're doing something good, creating your own seed, but it could be using a different seed without you knowing, and you think you're using your seed. So you have to take the new seed you made, put it into another machine, a different brand, and check that you're getting the same addresses. That way you know the original one is using the seed you think it's using. Or you could add a passphrase to be just as good. That not everyone's going to do that, because it means you've got to buy a second hardware wallet. But if you've got enough Bitcoin to justify it, then you should do it.
But you actually have a recommendation on your website, Arman, of using I think I can't remember the name of that website that generates seed phrases.
That's the Ian Coleman
39. Yeah, there you go. The Ian Coleman. And there's also Bitcoin
I don't talk about that a
Q&As.
lot. I don't talk about that a lot because I don't want people to start using that on a regular computer and start making this.
Oh, too late. Too late. You do
tool.
talk about it a lot. You have it published on your website.
Well, I do. I specify clearly it's for education and not for your real seed. If you're going to use it,
I
for
totally
your
agree.
seed,
Like I think actually what you recommend is to generate a dice roll using a cold card and then compare that to Ian Coleman's website and see if the results are the same. And if that's the case, then you can generate a new dice roll.
Actually, I recommend a dice roll and then a pencil and paper to generate your seed, and then the final checksum that you need, you can put it into any hardware wallet, and I think you can just guess it, 1 in 16 chance, or you can have an air gap computer and work it out with that. And I've given instructions on how to do it.
There you go.
Yeah, I've never used the cold card dice roll feature. I don't know if you start from scratch with your dice rolls and the dice, and you're putting dice numbers in. My guide shows you how to convert dice rolls into binary. Either you use odd and even, or 1, 2, 3 versus 4, 5, 6, and just get zeros and ones, and then you make your seed from that.
What? the hell are you guys talking about?
Yeah, sorry.
It's generating a seed phrase. So basically, it's generating a seed phrase in a way that isn't trusting any hardware wallets.
Telemetry, Craig. You know this.
Got it. Did you say telemetry?
Yeah.
Oh, big words.
That's when you call people in like multiple at the same time.
I think he said elementary.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
I said telemetry.
Okay, sorry. You should have said elementary.
Yeah, you should have.
Okay,
You should have.
okay, Parman.
Labra, I know you may or may not have some questions for Parman, but I want to make sure you get them in. If you do, please don't just bark.
Yes. I have the scores.
Oh, I'm good with scores.
Yes, I've been taking notes the whole time, so that's why I've been quiet. So, Arman, just so you know, I take notes of what people say in our streams. So, I put scores on them. Yeah, so I'll give the scores. Potato, you got a tomato for score because it rhymes.
All right.
Potato,
All right.
tomato.
It's the red thing.
Rob, you got a bowl of water. Bowl of water.
Oh, bowl of water.
Bowl of water. Yes.
Bowl of water. Oh, fine,
Oh,
mate.
look, water.
Bottle of water.
Yeah, whatever Artie said. Yes. Becca, you got yoga classes for your lower back pain.
Thank you. Much
Because I know
needed.
you're suffering. Yes.
Yes.
Pedro, you got a Lightning invoice for 1 SAT, and it will be routed through Arman's node.
Fuck all that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll route it through my node.
My fee's only one set.
Yeah.
Greg's node is down, everybody.
For yellow, you got a Labra shirt like the one that Becca has. Thank you,
Wait.
Becca.
Bob's.
What is that?
It's my Labra shirt.
Yeah.
Labra on a bicycle with
Yeah.
a hat.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Artie, you got Arman's baking soda product that he shielded in the stream earlier today. And for our guest, Arman, we got the best score that we give on the stream every week. So that would be the pie number. So I'm going to read that for you. So it's 3.1415926538979932384
I always want to see if he actually has it, so let him go for a while.
Yeah, I'm super curious if he has it too, but I don't think our guests are curious about that.
No, but I mean, who doesn't like hearing pi to like 20 digits, right? All right. So Parman,
you muted me.
I think it must have done it by itself. I don't know. Did you finish with the pi?
Yeah. 6442881.
Let's talk about Parman node.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
What is it? Where can we buy it? Is it delicious?
It's not for sale. It's free. Parman node is Linux bash code. Works on Mac too. So bash code that anything you type in the terminal to run a command, you can put in a script. And when I found that out, I thought that blew my mind. And then I explored and eventually started doing all the things you need to do to install your Bitcoin node in code, one by one, everything that I might instruct someone to type over a Zoom call, frustratingly saying no, this, and I just put it in text and it runs. So it'll install Bitcoin Core, it'll GPG verify to make sure the download is genuine.
I'm curious about that, Parman, before you keep going here.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of wonder what's the point of having somebody who is trusting you with this install to then do the PGP verification.
What's the point of doing the PGP verification?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm asking is we're already trusting you with the install.
Yeah, to a point, yes. But you don't have to. Like, you could look at my code and learn how I just did the GPG. So even though you're trusting me to do it, what you're running is out there for anyone to read. So if I'm doing anything shifty, someone's going to call me out. So it's not secret code. It's just a bunch of text, which you can look at. It's exactly the same as going to a website where they say, run this line and then put this line. You copy it and you paste it and you execute it. Well, this is all many more lines, but it just does all that. So, you can trust. I'm not asking anyone to trust. People may do it, but it's available to do it in a way where you're not trusting, because it's open source code. And it's not particularly difficult to read because it's not in C++ or anything. It's just command line text one after another, and you can look at what you're running. And I put comments in it, so it explains what it's actually doing, and you could actually learn to do it all yourself. And you don't have to install it. Like you don't have to install everything I've got there. If you just want to run Bitcoin Core, you can look at the code section of Bitcoin Core and see what I've done, and you could just do it yourself. But it's much easier, just click install Bitcoin Core and it'll run that code for you.
Yep.
Great. And then it says connect your drive, and then you connect your drive, and it detects your drive. It says, do you want to format? And it'll format your drive and label it. It'll set it up so that every time you turn your computer on, Bitcoin will boot up. And if you have a shutdown and reboot, it'll just start again. All the command line things that you might need to do for your Bitcoin Core to see what's happening, it's in the menu. You just click it and it'll just show you the, get blockchain info or things. It'll show you if it's running. You don't have to type anything. It's all just in a little menu for you.
Yeah, I did run it on, I think I mentioned to you in a tweet that I'd ran it in a VM, and you chastised me for using Ubuntu server instead of something with a GUI. So I did run it. I did end up running it with Mint, and it did exactly as I would have expected, even though it was in a VM, and you were kind of worried about the storage device.
With VM, it's expensive to put many gigabytes of data on a virtual machine. Plus, the big advantage is that Parman has wallets as well. So Electrum and Sparrow and Spectre. And recently I've added Trezor Suite and a couple other ones. But if you have your own node with Parmanode, if it installs Bitcoin Core and it installs a wallet, then because I know it's on the machine, I can code it so that your wallet just connects to your own node. You don't have to fiddle around with the IP addresses and things. You load the wallet and it's connected to your node.
Yeah, it was impressive.
I found that people find that really hard. Like I run a node, now what? Well, we got to connect your wallet to it, and people get stuck. So that part's automated.
Well, to that point, you actually have a Fulcrum server as one of the options. I've tested a lot of the different node stacks that are out there, and none of them offer Fulcrum. And I'm curious on your opinion of Fulcrum and why you added it to yours.
It was a while ago. Let me think. I got the idea to use it from a guy called Katan, who's got very useful videos. I learned from him a lot. And
sorry, Parman. Should probably have an explanation of what Fulcrum is.
Oh, right. Well, it's a type of Electrum server, and the name's terrible because it's an Electrum wallet, and people get server mixed up with the wallet. Electrum wallet doesn't talk to Bitcoin Core directly. It needs a middleman, needs a server, which reorganizes the Bitcoin block data so that the wallet can read it in a
quicker way, I guess. And it doesn't have to keep syncing and like if you just like in a wallet like Sparrow, if it connects to Bitcoin Core directly, it's a lot slower than if it had a server which has organized the data efficiently for the wallet to read. So Electrum wallet needs the Electrum server. And Fulcrum is a type of Electrum server. There's many types of Electrum servers. I think the most powerful one is Electrum X, and there's Electrum Personal Server, which I used to do a long time ago. And Electrum RS, Electors, is a common one that works well too. And that's on par with Fulcrum. And I started with Fulcrum. I think it was just, at the time, it was easy to install. And because I was trying to make Parman available for Mac and Linux as well, I think there was something easy about that.
Rob, what are you doing, man?
What happened there? But I forgot the exact reason. But, and then I found problems with Fulcrum because the data got corrupted quite often for no apparent reason. So then I bit the bullet and then I did Electors, which is compiled. So Fulcrum was a Docker container on Mac, and it downloaded executables for Linux, but Electors is actually compiled by this system. So Parman will download it from GitHub and then install all the tools you need to compile, and then for 30 minutes it'll sit there compiling, which is one of the downsides, but it doesn't get corrupted as often. It's a more common one. I hope that answers the question.
Oh yeah, I guess I was curious on your experience with Fulcrum's performance. My understanding and my experience is that Fulcrum will produce a wallet's balance much faster than something like just the other Electrum instances.
I heard that, but I haven't noticed that much of a difference. I haven't done a formal test, but they're both fine.
Awesome. Well, I did end up getting it running in a Mint VM. I used a pruned node to do that. I used your prune option. I really appreciate all of the different options you give there, and you have a lot of comments that as you're installing or with the different options that you offer somebody when they're installing your node. I'm just curious. So some of the comments are things like, why would you uninstall this, or things like that? What's your thinking behind some of the different comments that
the comments are just like, I'm just being myself and having fun. So if I think of something funny, I'll put it in. I've also got message of the day now. So every time you load Parman, I have message of the day, all different ones. And so if I make a tweet that I'm particularly happy with, I might put it in there. And then when you load Parman, it'll come up. And you can dismiss it forever, but I hope people will just leave it, and I'll just put messages for them as they turn it on.
And I guess my last thought here is you've got this thing set up and running in a way where it's easy to do, but it still sort of feels like sort of cypherpunk for somebody who may not have played with command line that much. And I think that's. Go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it looks cypherpunky because it's just text on a screen. It doesn't have, web pages and beautiful pictures. I added some colors to it, but it does still load things that you would run on a website. Like you can install Lightning and an RTL wallet, Ride the Lightning wallet, and it'll say if you want to access your Ride the Lightning wallet, you go to this IP address and you type it in your web browser, and you've got RTL in your web browser. It's very much like how Raspberry Blitz does it. Raspberry Blitz looks very cypherpunky too. Parman is similar to Raspberry Blitz, but it's
I did notice that.
run on desktop computers, and also it gives wallets as well. I think Raspberry Blitz is more of a server, but Parman is server and also graphical programs like wallets that you can download.
Are you planning on releasing this for something like Ubuntu server?
Leasing it, did you say?
Releasing.
Oh, releasing. No, you can run it on Ubuntu servers. It'll work. It's just that the some of the programs that you can install with Parmanode are not going to work because that you need a monitor and to use it. But if the Bitcoin Core will run as a server, Lightning will run as a server, Fulcrum and Electors can all run on your server. You just got to be able to access your server. But if you're the kind of person who knows how to use servers and pretty techie, then you might not need Parmanode as much, but it still would make your life easier.
Yeah. And last question for me, Arman, are you collecting our IP addresses?
No. Why?
Because some of the Bitcoin node stacks are appear to have the ability to collect IP addresses.
Oh yeah, it's got the ability. I mean, I guess I could create the ability, but there's no need for that. I mean, it's if you want to check, you can look in the code to see anything it's doing. One way to collect IP addresses will be to run a HTTP request to a server, and then that will just log all the requests. So every time you visit a website, you're giving your IP address. So if Parmanode was to visit a website, and for a time it did that but I didn't have like for a time it would download particular things from my web server, and so I could then go to my web server and then look at logs and then filter them out and do it. But I guess it can be done. But anyone can do that with every product you use. So if you want to avoid it, you could use Tor and a VPN. If you use the internet directly, then you're just throwing your IP address all over the world as you use it.
Another hot question is one from Bobby. He asks, what's your favorite steak and how you prepare it?
Me, my favorite is Scotch fillet, and I like to get large pieces, like 9 kilos pieces, and then I put that in my bar fridge, and it ages, and I slice what I need, and over the course of 40 to 60 days, I'll have nice aged steak at home.
Wait, you do it dry? You do it dry age of 60 days? Wow.
Dry age 60 days. After 60 days, it starts tasting a little bit funky.
Even 60 days, you're living dangerously.
No, it's in a fridge, and it's not dangerous. Like the meat just dries out. The surface gets crusty, so you can, if it's too crusty, trim that away, and inside it's just nice meat. It doesn't even mold.
Yeah, and I know dry age. One of my favorite channels is Guga. You know Guga?
No.
Come on, man.
I know what a cougar means.
Goulash?
No, Guga.
Like a baby? Like Gaga
Guga channel.
Guga.
Guga. Like that?
Yeah. What about it?
Craig, I can't hear you, man.
You got me started on steak. You didn't let me finish.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to cut it very thick, and then let it come to room temperature for 2 hours at least. Then barbecue. Pan fry on its own won't do. You need the smoky flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You can finish it off on the pan. And it has to be no more cooked than medium rare. And it has to have Béarnaise sauce. And it has to have
barbecue with charcoal.
Charcoal is ideal, but you get 80% of the benefit with 20% of the work. So I really do charcoal. It doesn't add that much.
Have you tried
Something
have you tried sous vide?
Yeah, but it's not that nice a taste because it's just slow cooked meat that's not charred. Or I've tried it.
Well,
but
you have to
I
have
find
the,
that to
that
get the
flame.
perfect flame,
Yeah,
you need flame.
You
The
have
perfect-
you have to do the flamethrower afterwards.
Yeah, I don't want
to
to
get that crust.
Yeah, I guess you could do it, but they're still not smoky. You need bits of
True.
oil dripping down, flaming up, smoking up, and over the period of time, flavoring the meat. I think that's important.
So what do you put? Like salt, pepper, maybe garlic powder?
My marinade is very finely crushed onions, which are hand crush and then spread over the meat. It's just onion, no salt, no oil, just onion. But before I cook it, I do sometimes smear it with tallow so that it flames up more, and as the oil drips down, it smokes up. That's a recent trick I did.
Nice. There you go, Bobby.
Did I hear correctly that you don't salt the steak?
I don't marinate with salt. I salt it when I'm serving it.
Afterwards, yeah.
Interesting. So when you're serving it, not even when you're cooking it. So no marination in salt, no cooking in salt, just when served.
Yeah, just when served. Because if you put salt, my theory is you're getting water out of it, and then you got to go through the process of pat drying it properly. And what's the point? It's already like salt. The salt you taste is the bit on the surface.
Well, if you leave the salt a little bit on the meat, like
are you just licking the steak, or are you actually eating it?
I don't eat it, but you don't need the full.
Calm down, Becca.
I'm hungry.
You don't need salt on the steak to penetrate for ages. It's not necessary. You got sprinkle it as you eat it, and it's done.
Oh yeah, okay.
And each guest can sprinkle the amount of salt that they prefer.
Individualism.
You're not curing it or anything. You know, if you're going to cure it, then you go to salt it. But it's just marinating. So I don't see the point.
Table salt,
but,
Himalayan salt, Celtic salt. What's the one?
I reckon all salt. It's all the same shit.
No, it's not.
I reckon it is.
Lake salt.
All right.
It's all the same. Just get good steak.
Arman, while you're here and while we've still got time for it, can you tell us what you're working on and where any of our viewers or listeners can find your already published materials?
Yeah, because somebody asked where he can find also that script you were talking about.
Yes, so Parmanode, the software is parmanode.com. And on that page, you should show some pictures of it. Near the bottom is the install, is a one-line command, that you type in and it'll just do things. So that's the installation is really easy. I'm working on that.
Say that's a really good. It's a really good node stack or like a node stack option for somebody who's running just a laptop or looking to run it on their desktop. It's a really good way. Before I used to recommend Spectre a lot, but Parmanode works really well for what Spectre offers also, with some more options.
Yeah, Parmanode will install Spectre for you if you want Spectre. You can try all the different wallets and then stick with the one you like, and they all connect to your own node. So I'm working on that because every now and then I come up with ideas. Oh, I should do this. I should do this. And my next idea is to have every app that you've installed have its version number printed and then an option to update to that latest version. Because right now you got to uninstall and reinstall the app with the new version of every time Parmanode upgrades. It doesn't upgrade the software you've got on your computer. You'll have to uninstall and reinstall. So I'm going to make some options there so you can just click the button and just upgrade whichever thing you want. I'm also working on high quality Twitter shitposts. So I'm at Parman_THE. And I've got armantheparman.com, which is where I put all my writing. So I've got particular strong opinion on something, I'll put it there, or all the things that I teach in my mentorship course, I've put free for people to look at there. And if they want their hands held, they can ask me.
Can I hold your hand without paying a fee?
Well, you have to at least buy dinner.
Fair enough. Aged steak, no salt.
Yeah.
Arman is also on Nostr. I have
Yes,
his.
I don't know my pub either.
I know it.
No,
Yeah, I
he's
know it.
gonna
I
read
can
it.
read it for
He's
you.
gonna read the
It's
fucking
npub 1LTT9GR.
Wrecked.
So
I put it on my contact page on my website. Find it there.
yeah, a lot of the any links, Parman, you had on your Twitter are also in the show notes. But I'll see if I can update it with the Nostr
Thanks,
and pub as well.
I think Zoom keeps muting me.
It's crazy, right?
Sorry.
Strange.
WKH3YX5XHG.
All right, and Parman, while you're here, I thought we had RD for this question, but he dipped on us. Rope, you've been awful quiet. Feel like giving us the RD question this evening?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me just. Good day, mate. Good morning. All right, I'm in the Parman. If the meme factory did exist, and we all know it doesn't, which one of its members would you like? Which would you retweet? Which of us would you mute? And which would you zap?
Too many questions in one. I've forgotten it already.
Come on, man. It's not that serious.
It's not that hard, man.
I'm serious.
Oh,
I forget.
It's just which of the Twitter features would you assign to each meme factory member? Like retweet.
Twitter features.
Twitter features. Like, retweet, mute.
Oh, right. Who should I retweet? I will retweet yellow. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yay.
I'll block Labra Parman.
What?
Yeah, more than a mute. Straight up block.
More than a
Straight up
mute, right?
block.
He's not even on Twitter at this point.
Block
Right.
and then abuse because he can't see what the abuse.
Yes.
What else is there?
Yes.
For Beck, I'll do a Twitter stalk.
Ooh.
I haven't seen that feature.
Arman's just making up stuff right now.
Rope can have a like.
Let's go. First one ever.
Was it really?
I like the avatar. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm not
Pedro.
sniffing my fingers. If that's what it looks like, I'm not.
You are.
You're definitely sniffing your fingers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Pedro, we could do a Twitter circle jerk.
Mm.
Oh, fun.
Mm.
Oh, Arman, Dieter would definitely agree with you.
Dieter.gif.
I was about to say. Is Dieter coming?
And Greg, thanks for inviting me. I'll give you a follow.
All right, I'll take it. All right, so Parman, do you know what happens at block height 840,000?
I think nothing happens on that block.
I hate you so much.
840,001. We get a new block reward. It gets halved.
You tell me Sean has been wrong the whole time?
Huh.
I'm pretty sure it's 840,001 is the new.
All right.
Just being smartass.
Well, we will be having the halving party in El Salvador.
Cancel everything. We have to change
We
the
have to
date.
change it. Gotta change it by block. By about 10 minutes.
Did you say El Salvador?
Yes.
Is it going to be?
It's French
Nice.
for the Salvador. And We'll be throwing the having party there. We got a hotel. We got a bunch of events. Got a bunch of Bitcoiners coming down to say hey. Try to minimize the shitcoiners attending. And wanted to throw an invite out your way. Hopefully you'll be able to make it to it.
Well, you got me onto a podcast, so if anyone's going to twist my arm into it, it'll be you.
That's the best compliment I've had all night.
If you start swimming like tomorrow, I think you can make it.
I'll make it. Yeah.
At least make a canoe or some kind of kayak or something. You don't have to swim.
All right,
Bait's flying.
Arman, you've been generous with your time tonight. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on. And we're going to sign out. So unless you want to say anything else to the listeners this evening, we're going to say goodbye.
All right. Thank you. It's been fun.
All right.
Thanks, Parman.
Thank you, Arman.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
For joining us, man.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.